not just about protecting Kamala Harris, but also going on the offense in terms of what Donald Trump and his allies may try to do to her in the coming months.
There will be accusations that if you don't like Kamala, we've already heard it, you're a sexist and you're a racist.
It's a short campaign now, 100 days to go, which puts more pressure on the press to cut through the charges and the countercharges on both sides, in fairness to the vice president and the former president, who's doing so much negative coverage over the last decade. I'm Howard Kerr.
Voices. Yes, younger voices.
You don't need to be a media analyst to see that the 59-year-old vice president.
Right, so Joe Biden just seems completely disconnected from the words that he's saying. It's a little frightening that he remains as president of the United States when he's clearly not up to the task cognitively.
The president is bringing more energy to the trail than the 81-year-old president. But it's all scripted so far. Harris got a rousing reception from the campaign staff.
So if you're highly insecure, that's much less likely to come out in scripted appearances rather than unscripted. So her personality insecurities, again, shine through once she's forced to deal with unscripted challenges.
In Wilmington, but stuck to the same script at a Milwaukee rally the same day.
Predators who abused women. Fraudsters who ripped off consumers. Cheaters who broke the rules for their own gain. So hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type. Predators who abused women, fraudsters who ripped off consumers, cheaters who broke the rules for their own gain.
Trump is now taking aim at his new opponent and what she knew about Biden's decline.
If Kamala will lie to you so brazenly about Joe Biden's mental incapacity, then she will lie to you about anything. She can never, ever be trusted.
Joining us now to analyze the coverage, Ben Domenech, editor-at-large at The Spectator and a Fox News contributor. And in San Diego, Laura Fink, founder of Rebel Communications. Ben, any question in your mind that the media, most of the media, are gushing over Kamala Harris? I mean, the New York Times has a piece today by a comedy writer defending her laugh.
Yeah, look, I don't think that this is something that should come as a surprise to anybody who's paid attention to the way that the media has depicted Kamala Harris over the past several years. The simple fact is that she has a very weak record. She is not someone who was qualified, really, when it was coming to the decision to choose her as vice president. She was ripped out of a situation where she had achieved 0% of the vote in order to be Joe Biden's vice president. And now she occupies this wonderful position of essentially having the path paved for her by the Democrat elite in order to take over not just the presidential nomination, but I believe effectively the active president of the United States. I believe Joe Biden is the president in name only, and that.
So one thing about humor, you notice that Republican politicians keep trying to pull off Donald Trump's sense of humor, and they continually fail, right? So most efforts to imitate Donald Trump come up highly cringe. I remember I moved to the United States in May of 1977, May 28. I turned 11 years of age. And when I began sixth grade in the fall, I was often tagged with the label insecure. Where I grew up in Australia, we weren't nearly as psychologically sophisticated as Californians. And that tag was a good one for me. It did reveal kind of the essence of my character, looking for other people to prop me up, to tell me who I was. And I think it remained a dominant characteristic of my personality until about 2016. I think I've made more dramatic strides, say, in the last 4. When people would start to distance from me, I would feel a great sense of desperation and turbulence, and I'd run after them and often make things worse. And now when I find people important to me, they're distancing, then I'm able to fall back onto my own resources and to send my energy in different directions. So even when I was highly secure, I wasn't highly insecure in all situations. So character matters, right? Character is a way to get a sense of somebody, but somebody's character is going to reveal itself in very differently in different situations. So right now, with all the media adulation, right, Kamala Harris's personality defects are going to be masked, right? It's easy to roll on this tidal wave of admiration.
You know, and nothing will happen between now and November that goes against anything that Kamala Harris really wants to happen. She is a talented politician.